just heard about it. And what this is, it's a business's presence online, plain and simply. And there are a lot of local businesses that are choosing to not even have a website anymore. They do everything on Facebook. And so I want to walk through 5 of our best practices that are so easy. You're going to laugh when I walk through them with you. But what's interesting about them is that, again, they are all based on things that you guys already know and come naturally to you as an industry and as your own social network. And the first is you just create a page. Have a presence. Make sure you are found. So when someone goes to Google and search for you, they can find your Facebook page. You can connect with your clients through a Facebook page, and you can present a very business-focused presence rather than feeling like you have to add them to your friends list to have a, and like mix them with your family, for example. And the key tips here are keep it interesting and suggest and with content that people want to come back for more. So in this case, this is actually a photography studio called Isla Studio. They have beautiful photos. I'm interested. I want to know more. The second practice here is connect your virtual and physical storefront. And what I mean by your physical storefront is I mean you, your person in this case, right? So when a client comes to meet for the first time, you hand them 2 pieces of information right now. You hand them your phone number and your email address most likely, right? That's a completely natural interaction. I guarantee you if you're not doing it today, in the not too distant future, you'll also hand them either your website or your Facebook page, right? And when they go, in that case, to your Facebook page, they need to have the basic information about you, right? So when are you available? What is the new inventory that you might have for the new houses? What are some of the trends that you see going on? Some basic information about you and what you care about. And as I've said before, this has to be authentic. Users today sniff out and reject anything that looks inauthentic. And I see this all the time. I was looking on Twitter the other day for a plumber, like examples of plumbers on Twitter, and like, I can't believe how many Twitter plumbers there are and what nonsense they're saying. I'm not kidding. Go check it out. It's really bizarre, and I have a feeling it's for search engine ranking purposes. But anyway, no one pays attention to that stuff. That's not worth your time. Spend time on having authentic relationships and authentic communication. The third here is engage your fans. So you would not host a party and decide, I'm not going to open the door and welcome them. I'm not going to feed them. I'm not going to entertain them. I'm not going to converse with them, right? Like that's not a natural. You would do all of those things if you throw a party. Think about Facebook as a party, right? When people come to Facebook, they come to get to know you, to have a conversation, to have a relationship, and that takes some care and feeding. That means that you owe it to those people who fanned you to tell them what's happening. You don't have to spam them, and it doesn't have to be inauthentic. But really, make sure that you're using this as another communication channel to let them know what's going on. So for example, Miles sends me emails probably every other week, every month, with updates of what's happening in Palo Alto. So here's some houses that I think you'll love. Here are the parts of Palo Alto that are not doing as well. Here are the parts of Palo Alto that are booming. This is what I see in terms of trends, or just a thank you for getting your friend to buy a house with me, right? I'm getting those in isolation today. I'm getting an email here, an email there, and I don't forward them. If I got them via Facebook, all I would have to do is hit like. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting. I really like that Palo Alto is going up in value. And all of my friends see that, right? So the same exact action, 10 times more powerful. So engage your fans. And acquire new fans too. So there was talk about buying ads. It doesn't have to be about buying ads. Sometimes you just have to ask. So if a client comes to you and has a great experience, you can say, you know what? Go like my page on Facebook. Go write a recommendation for me. And it can be as easy as that. In this case, Isla Studio and a lot of other companies like them will run promotions, right? When you like, you get this thing. And you don't have to buy clients that way. There are lots of different ways of doing it. But it basically should be a gesture of, we genuinely have had a good connection. Go show that to me on Facebook. And why this is important is because if I like Miles on Facebook, all of my friends who stumble upon Miles' pages, they see that in my newsfeed, or they hear about him somewhere else, and they search Google and they find him, or they search Facebook and they find him, will see my comments, their friends' comments on Miles' page. And all of a sudden, Miles goes up in week. because they know I'm incredibly picky and I move all of the time. I know what I'm doing in this space. That recommendation means a lot, simply that I've fanned Miles's page. And then the last one is get them back to your store, right? Get them back into your open house. Take content that is action-oriented and use that to drive people to an open house. Likewise, kind of an interesting spin on this are what we call groups. So we have Facebook groups that allow you to actually take your fans and your friends and group them into different segments. And you guys are not just connecting with your clients, the house buyers and the house seller, but you're connecting with each other, right? You think about how on a day in, day out basis, you have to get fellow real estate agents into your open homes. You entice them, there's massage rooms, there's great food, there's alcohol, whatever. You can actually leverage Facebook to reach out to that community too and drive them into that open house. So there's so many things that you can do. And I would also say there are a lot of companies out there that can help you. If you own a real estate company, like go talk to Claire Shee at Hearsay Labs or talk to Craig at Google. There are a lot of companies out here that can make this simple and really scalable for you. And so the last thing this is actually kind of interesting. So that's my version of best practices, but if you ask engaged users, they'll tell you kind of the same thing, right? So when fans were asked why they engage with Facebook businesses and pages, they want the latest news about the brand or the person or the industry, whatever it is. They want new product information. They like contests and sales and discounts. And they want to, and they also want to use Facebook as a way to show that they like that person or that entity, right? So this is what fans are doing and saying as well. And so I also want to recognize that Facebook is perceived as a time sink, right? I have a handful of friends who are not on Facebook, and I ask why, and actually, you know, local businesses that I work with, and I ask why, and the answer I get is, I have no time. Ideally, hopefully, what we aspire to do is to take the things in your life that you're doing already naturally and make them 10, 100 times more effective. And talk to business owners around you, and hopefully they'll say, we've done that. Ideally, we're making you more effective and therefore saving you time, not costing you time. So with that,